So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay. It's five. Okay. Now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
So as you've heard by now, Charlie Kirk has been assassinated on Wednesday afternoon at Utah University while debating college students during his comeback tour. After little more than 48 hours, the FBI, well, Trump to be precise, announced that the killer had been apprehended.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
His name, Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, from Utah. He killed Charlie with a single shot using a bolt-action rifle from about 200 meters away, perched on a nearby rooftop. He escaped home, confessed to his father after his father saw the pictures of the suspect, noticed the similarities with his son, and confronted him on them, and was then subsequently turned in by him. When agents recovered the rifle, suspected of being the killing weapon, in the nearby woods, they discovered unspent bullet casings engraved with the words, "Hey fascist, catch," followed by a video game move, "Bella ciao," and "If you read this, you are gay, Lamau." For all the boomers, Lamau means laughing my ass off. On the fired bullet casing were the words, "Notices bulges, ooh, what's this?" which is literally a meme making fun of awkward, excessively sexual online communications in the furry community. Now that's a sentence I never thought I would utter. Meanwhile, Trump is now calling for the death penalty for this guy. And if I may, not just the death penalty, but as a commitment to the non-violence that Charlie so allegedly championed, Trump should personally execute him with a ceremonial axe in the Rose Garden, just to emphasize the non-violence. Now, it's been interesting to see that since the murder, Republicans have been mainly preoccupied with policing everybody's public reactions to it. I don't exactly understand what they think they're doing here, but maybe it is their attempt to exert some measure of control over what happened. And what happened was a violent act in an increasingly violent land that, from an outsider's perspective, is genuinely starting to look completely mad. You have a president who, more than anyone, constantly engages in violent rhetoric, who could not care less about uniting the country after this, who can only demonize his opponents, and who just a week ago threatened Pritzker that Chicago was about to find out why they call it the Department of War, effectively threatening one of his own goddamn cities with a literal fucking war. Look, the guy is a hate-mongering, vile buffoon, and more than anybody, he has contributed the most to this increased atmosphere of violence. And also the gun culture, it's sick. These are killing machines. Nobody in their right mind celebrates killing machines. This kid, as evident by his marksmanship, clearly was far more familiar with guns than he should have been. The violent rhetoric, coupled with the gun culture and the accessibility of guns, is an obvious recipe for disaster. Now, I'm not going to go through the list of all the offensive stuff that Charlie Kirk has ever said. First, it's a lot. It's all extremely offensive. And second, you've heard it all before. Did he deserve to die for his extremely offensive, positively medieval views? No. Did he deserve to get called out for them? Yes. It's actually a little bit sickening watching Republicans trying to lionize the guy. I mean, bury him in the Capitol Rotunda. Have we completely lost our minds? It increasingly seems so. So now that I've said what I wanted to say about this, let's segue into my conversation with Luigi that occurred 2 days ago while the manhunt was still ongoing.
Charlie Kirk, a prominent right-wing commentator in the US, has been assassinated, shot in a university campus while he was debating someone, I guess,
A college student.
usually. The shooter was not captured. There's a manhunt going on, and
Not being, not, yeah. Sorry, Luigi,
I,
yeah.
I dare say the temperature has chilled quite a lot because all of the commentators are like, fuck, we've reached a point where they're shooting commentators. Speaking of the great orange president, is he dying?
Probably.
What's up? What's happening there? There was a video. There was a video that surfaced. His hand seemed
His hand is
blue.
fucked up. Dude, the hand is all sorts of fucked up. The
Yeah,
gangrenous hand. It looks bad. I pointed it out in one of the videos. It looks really bad.
I maybe it's from furious masturbation. I mean, all right. So there was this weekend
How
where
dare you with
where the
with a little mushroom thing, so it's hard to do it. That's why you get the friction.
there was an entire weekend where the news cycle was hijacked by this. Is Trump dying? Are they hiding it? And so on. You're like, dude, he's got the best healthcare available to man, woman, or alien. I mean, he's got a hospital of military doctors dedicated to him. He's gonna be fine while he's president, at least.
I think it springs from the fact that, he unless he occupies the whole world space, I would say, whatever the new space, 24/7, because that's what he does 24/7. When he just stops appearing for half a day, people are like, "What the fuck? What is up? Is
Yeah.
he dead?"
It says something about I mean, he's
Yeah,
trained us to expect a shocking headline every few hours.
every 3 to 4 hours on a good day.
He's
It's like,
he's seriously conditioned like globally journalists, analysts. I mean, speaking of economic plans, whatever the fuck they are, so far it's only been I'm gonna tariff the fuck out of everyone. I'm gonna weaponize tariffs to achieve like global foreign
random,
policy.
random
No.
goals.
It's
Yeah.
not random goals like Brazil. He wants to support Bolsonaro. 50% tariffs on Brazil. Like there is that foreign policy angle, and he's using tariffs towards that.
But I mean, the foreign policy angle, yeah, is supporting various random deep shits.
Mostly, it's been a way to, man, honestly, I started to believe this, like to get US business leaders to fall into line, to bow down to the great Khan and come with offerings of gold. Zuckerberg was in the White House recently having a meeting with Trump, and like Trump asked him, like, how much are you going to invest over like in the US? And Zuckerberg was like,
How much
uh,
gold
so,
will you
yeah,
give?
Zuckerberg was like $600 billion. That's a big number. And then like the camera closes and there's a hot mic, and Zuckerberg asks him like, I wasn't sure what number you wanted me to go with. And you're like this oligarch, this multi-billionaire is standing there and be like, great Khan, what number must I give? I
You
mean,
should have given a lot more gold, Zach. Throw him in the lion pits.
yeah, but speaking about the US economy,
I think we can call it officially. I think the most official designation for what Trump is experimenting here, I would call it gangster economics, Luigi. I think that's what it is, honestly. Just
honestly,
a gangster or wannabe gangster doing economics.
dude, I would call it like I would make it into a phrase and it would be like authoritarian economics for self-enrichment. Allegedly, bracket
And
allegedly.
to help my buddy, the great Bolsonaro.
All right. Do you think, did you see this recent data that came out that basically suggests the jobs numbers we've been seeing for the entire year have been massively off And I'm gonna note, like the revisions basically show that since April, maybe a random timing, but also when Trump first announced the tariffs, there's been no jobs growth in
Yeah,
the US. And paradoxically, this is so crazy, right? Trump fired the person that was making him look good all this time, right? So imagine if since April, we kept getting horrible jobs report after horrible jobs report. The stock market wouldn't be at record highs. But, we get all of this fake data. Trump gets the first glimpses that the data is getting revised down. And he's like, fire the person. It's like, dude, you should be thanking them. I mean, they've kept you afloat all this time. Like, if we knew in real time that the jobs market would be struggling, there would be a lot more
100%.
pushback to
100%.
to stop the tariffs. Um, in any case, now we've reached a situation where whenever the markets, so the tariffs are getting challenged in the courts, and it's going to the Supreme Court.
What do you
Now,
think?
the moment the market catches any glimpses that the courts might block the tariffs, what happens is the cost of servicing the debt, interest rates on long-term bonds go up because the market is like they are gonna lose another source of revenue, and the government budget is already very overblown, hugely in deficit. Yeah, so I think Trump has done a very good job of like, man, his capture of the courts in his first term was
Yeah,
essential to pulling all of this
yes,
shit off in the second
100%.
term. And what he's trying,
Especially if this shit is gonna stick.
yeah, but it's kind of stake. I mean, the judges he appointed will bend over
I
backwards to remove
I
him.
think I personally think that the Supreme Court will clear the tariff issue for Trump. I
I
don't think
agree.
they will object. I don't think they will
I agree.
dissent.
And you know why that makes me confident? Because Trump has succeeded, right? He's gotten some preliminary trade deals. It looks like a victory.
Yeah,
And, and for better or
it's not
worse,
a victory.
for better or worse, though, it's been sold as one, and
Oh
Americans
yeah.
love a victory. Like the public opinion has shifted, and it's suddenly like
I
cool
mean,
with
it's
tariffs.
not a victory in the sense, Luigi, if he had just done the EU trade deal, it'd be a victory. The EU got humiliated. But he didn't just do the EU trade deal. He did, I don't know, a 30% tariff with Cambodia or something that does like he has inflicted tariffs on nations that do goods that he has no interest in manufacturing that are just going to cause inflation in his
Uh,
economy.
yeah,
So I mean,
but
I can't spin whatever the fuck he's doing as a victory. I get what you're saying. 100% it's been sold
he's
as a victory.
he's as much as one man can. He's destroyed the economy as much as possible, like for a
100%.
single man to do. Now, here's the interesting part. He's trying to take over the central bank as well. So first is the
Yes.
courts. The other institution that's supposedly independent
Yes.
is a central bank. He has
He
been
really wants to
very,
nuke that economy, Luigi.
very
He really
aggressive. He's
wants.
been very, very aggressive with the central bank. He fired one of the
Yeah, board
Fed
members.
governors, yes, like the core voters
Yes,
uh,
on policy.
on policy. So,
Because he
I
wants
mean,
to lower the goddamn interest rates, which he's been screaming through the rafters for
and
months now.
he's about to replace the chairman because the chairman's term
Oh,
ends
but he's
by
allowed to
next.
do that.
He's allowed to do that,
Yeah,
like he
that
will
one.
do that
That one,
by
yeah.
next year. But like the people he's considering, like the short list, it's not very encouraging. Like one guy is normal, he's already at the Fed.
You
Like,
don't say.
I mean, another one is Kevin Hassett. Are you familiar with him? Like he's the national trade. My God, what position is he in? He's not commerce. He's national trade, something like that. He's one of the, my God, like whenever I listen to that guy have an interview, I'm like, please don't put him as the head of the central bank. Like, please don't do it. Like, we need some semblance of like this person
He
has an
doesn't,
idea of
dude.
how things
Dude,
work.
for God's sake, he put RFK Jr. as the fucking health,
You're
in the
right.
Department
You're
of Health. He
absolutely
gives
right.
zero shits about any semblance of any actual credibility or, professionalism. or
All right.
value in. Yeah, he's gonna put that guy. If he's the worst of the worst, as you're vouching for, 100%, it's gonna be that
The
guy.
new statistics guy that's probably going to sweep through a Senate confirmation we were discussing earlier. He was the ex-chief economist of the Heritage
Oh
Foundation.
my
And I
God.
Yeah, so that guy who apparently has a PhD, but I don't think it's in statistics or economics, is now gonna be heading statistics. Um, Interesting. I mean,
It's
the
like,
new
what? Are we gonna get a guy who actually has done something in statistics before? Fuck no, dude. We're
I
gonna get
mean,
this guy who licks
where's the
Bibles
fun?
really well and wants to lower interest rates. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Where's the fun in getting an expert?
Expert. He's
Expert.
an expert. He knows the numbers. It's
Right,
like,
let's
who's gonna be responsible for our vaccine policy? The guy who doesn't believe in them. It's like, okay,
let's
we're going places, people.
let's be optimistic here. Look, on the bright side, this is going to really stress test US institutions. Can they survive a Looney Tunes administration?
For real.
I hope they can.
I don't know, man. Shit is getting dicey.
I think that's all. Let's conclude. Pleasure, as always, brother. See you soon.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Sayonara.